Satoru Gojo has done it. The moment that changed the landscape of Jujutsu Kaisen for good. This is the true birth of Gojo, coming from a dying position to overturning the odds and utilizing what every opposition fears most, that being plot armor. Now yes, this is a literal definition of plot armor because there is absolutely no way he should have been able to survive what we've just seen, but fortunately it's not that much of a problem. In fact, it was done right. Yeah, Gojo's revival was done almost perfectly, but what makes this type of plot armor the exception? That's what we're going to be breaking down today thoroughly. Usu, what's up guys, my name is GXL here. If you haven't already, make sure you leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and now let me explain exactly what I mean when I talk about good plot armor. So firstly, to notice this scene, Jujutsu Kaisen is an anime that is set in 2018, but we went back to take place in the year of 2006. This already gives us an element of reassurance to be able to trust people that survives or not later in the series. The character of Gojo has relatively stayed the same in his behavior, in which a lot of people would have been scarred by the event that had just occurred and be very hard-headed in the future. This at least gave Yuji a fun teacher that wasn't going to be this cold and serious character all the time after this event. The fight that shook everybody and led to the plot armor being used at its full fruition was in the fight right here. This fight determined everything. Now this was more than just Gojo beats a bad guy type of arc. This was an arc that shifted the course of Jujutsu Kaisen forever. The death of the star plasma vessel, meaning Tengen didn't get to reset, which has been the usual procedure for years. In addition, Gojo being tempted to not want non-sorcerers anymore, as he would deem unnecessary. The weak should be treated like the weak. That was kind of Gojo's mentality. So without this fight, there is no Satoru Gojo. Toji and Gojo made sure to put in a clinic. Toji is someone who was no longer bearing the Zenin name, showing a sense of being disowned, being an outsider, as he has zero curse energy as well. He was just an odd character in the world. It seemed like a battle between the cursed and the blessed. Toji obviously butchered Gojo, leading him on completely, and Gojo fell short due to being tired and Toji's cursed tools that were 100% cracked. One thing in the series that was emphasized was the use of reverse curse technique. Not every sorcerer had the skill to acquire for such a thing, and that is what made Shoko special and a very reliable individual. And when coming to encounter Toji again, the Gojo Satoru being high of life figure is kind of interesting, and having him figure out how to use curse reversal red, it shows the impressive feat and the things he done to be able to get to this point. The reason this plot armor was done so well is because it was always hinted at us, from Shoko teaching him how to do it with Bibabu. To him having the six eyes to see and process things differently and rapidly in comparison to others, and also to him using curse technique reversal red and failing at the same time. These things combined shows that Gojo was in the process of learning and trying to adapt this, and he genuinely felt like he could do the reversal red at the time, so it shows the effort was definitely there. So nothing was too far out of his reach. Using the reverse curse technique, which doesn't half heal you as well, bear in mind, but instead it heals you fully, and that is most likely the reason why even in the fight you can see he's become faster, better, and seeming less tired, and lethargic brain was fresh again, representing Gojo with a clear mind. Is it surprising he also was able to do the purple hollow right there and then? Some may say yes, but Satoru Gojo is a blessed prodigy. This is a known technique within the Gojo clan by a selected number of individuals, meaning it is not something anyone could do or know except a few people. It is secretive and rare, so Gojo pulling out something that exists already within the frame of the six eyes and the limitless is completely fine. The ability to do purple was because he has now figured things out at such a high level, and an expressive figure of that is his domain expansion, forcing information into your mind. That creation alone, in which domain expansion reflects your curse technique and personality, this is not out of the ordinary. This part of the story leads us to this current Gojo that is very busted. It seems like he can never lose. There was an origin story to the madness, and at least we know why. Another thing to pick up on is Toji's actions. Although Gojo doing this in the first place was unfathomable, he doesn't seem to be the most surprised person ever. He wasn't shaking in fear. His first action was to constant press, charged at him fast. Bear in mind, his job was to handle Rico and go home, which he has already done. He had no purpose continuing to fight Gojo, But the pride and the point he wanted to prove the most is that he doesn't need cursed energy or an opportunity to be blessed. His existence would allow sorcerers to humble themselves and get off their high horses. He was the representation of that, the low representation, but one nonetheless. Toji wanted to reintroduce sorcery forever, and to the point he kept fighting till the end. He listened to the heart more than his mind. He felt the unease, and the opportunity to leave was there, of course, but his heart wanted other things. Toji really gave us an unshakable being to raise from the dead. Gojo cannot be any crazier than how he is now, almost high of life. Gojo's ability to prioritize himself and not really care about the conclusion is very telling to his character. Deep down, he's a selfish character that wants to do whatever he wants, especially along with the strongest around. Even since basketball scene that we watched previously, you can tell straight away that these are some of the ideals that he carried. Geto was saving him from the edge and has benefited him majorly ever since. Gojo seemed like he was almost on his last legs when it came to turning the side to evil, and honestly the situation flipped from Gojo to Geto instantly, showing the parallels between the two. It was one or the other. The fact that all this stemmed down from somebody that was known as the strongest, then coming against someone who was known as a curse to the Zenith family, fighting against each other, going against each other, and having the curse destroy the blessing. It really emphasizes that this plot armor was done effectively due to the fact, all in all, the word plot armor is used notoriously, usually, and the reasons for that is very valid, which is why people avoid watching certain shows as a whole. But at the same time, there are instances in which they seem very apparent, but are backed up by certain actions that are portrayed in the show. So I do not believe it is an arse pool whatsoever. Satoru Gojo was on the brink of death, and that brink of death that he was fighting, he was able to recognize everything coming to him on the verge of death. It is typical, but Gojo already failed. This is not something he can bring back. The protection of Riko Aminai could not be prevented, so instead, they showed us how Gojo's development was evolved over time. And although we can agree, Gojo is still not humble, we knew the situation was something he never ever wanted to happen again, which is why with time he studied on and on and on. Thereafter, we see that he reaches the peak of Jujutsu sorcery, to the point that cursed spirits even to this day want to hide and not be involved with Gojo at all. So we know that he rejected the notion of complacency and wasn't just constantly walking around saying I'm the strongest. With that being said, we have actually reached the conclusion of the video, and I'm very happy you guys took the time to actually listen to what I had to say, especially when it comes to the plot armor. With that being said, thanks for watching the video. We've got plenty of content right here for you to watch. Trust me, you would enjoy all of them. And as I say to the new and old people that come and visit my channel, Jana.